Want to support your grad student through the dissertation process, but not sure how? You're going to find out right now. Hey everybody, I'm Leigh Hall from teachingacademia.com, and I'm all about giving you the tools you need to navigate academia and make your best impact. Today we're talking about how you can support your family member as they go through the dissertation process. So first, obviously, sit down, have a conversation with them, take the time to sort of get a big picture overview of what the dissertation process is for your family member, all right? And then once you've gotten that down, understand that as they move through that process, it's going to be a very stressful time. It's going to come and go in terms of stress, so just expect that. But do expect it's going to be a bit of an emotional roller coaster, certainly for your family member. And if you're that person that they come to, then you're going to experience some of that as well. So just be present for it, know that it's happening, and simply being there to allow your family member to vent and to talk and to share, that's going to be super supportive in terms of helping them navigate that dissertation process. So keep in mind, your family member will not always want to talk about what's going on, okay? Because as you go through the dissertation as a grad student, you've got to talk about your work with your advisor a lot. You talk about it with other grad students. You might be out in the field collecting data. You've got to talk about it with other committee members. And so sometimes you're just sick of talking about it. You don't want to talk about it again on the phone on a Saturday, afternoon or whatever. Okay. So if they don't want to talk to you about it, respect that, because they may just be worn out from constantly having to talk about their work, and actually talking about what you're doing is a nice diversion from that, and actually can really be supportive of them going through the process because it gives them something else to focus on and pay attention to. So allow that to happen. It's a good thing, I promise. All right, so at the beginning, I talked about how it's important to get that big picture overview. It's fine to ask your family member to help you understand the timeline, meaning how do you go about collecting data if that's what they're doing? When do they analyze data? How long does that take? What does the writing process look like? How long does that take? There are different components, and these components will somewhat vary depending on the kind of dissertation your family member is doing. If you ask them to explain the timeline of the dissertation process, your family member is going to know what that means, okay? Even if you don't quite know what it means, trust me, they're going to know, and they're going to be able to answer your question for you. But there's a difference between saying what's the timeline and when you're going to be done, when you're going to graduate. All graduate students want to graduate, they want to be done, but they get tired of hearing, when are you going to be done? Because as much as they would like to tell you, this is definitively when I'm going to be done, sometimes life gets in the way, unforeseen events happen, and they might need more time, or things might go quicker and they might need less time. So they'll have an estimate for you, but just asking them to help you understand the timeline, that's great. I don't recommend you ask them, when are you going to graduate? Because they do get tired of that question in general because they hear it from lots of people. And it can be a question that induces a certain amount of stress. So I would stay away from that question. And then know that there may be instances during this dissertation process where they decide they cannot handle it anymore and they are going to quit, all right? And understand that this is normal, okay? Everybody gets stressed out, everybody gets worn down, everybody gets overwhelmed. Like I said, it's an emotional roller coaster, and they may be at the bottom. They may be at a low point where they feel like, I just cannot do this. I'm not smart enough, I'm not capable enough, it's too much work, it's too hard, I just want to quit and go get a job and make more money. That's normal, but they are very close to the end. So what I would do if, you've got a family member that's talking about, I can't do this, I want to quit, encourage them to seek out their advisor or a trusted mentor to talk them through what they're feeling and experiencing. I wouldn't recommend trying to take that on yourself unless you've got a lot of experience with grad students or higher ed in general, but instead route them, listen to them, and then route them to somebody who can really give them some perspective and advice. It might be that they're right, that quitting is the best thing for them, but let them think that through with multiple people first, okay? Don't say, yes, that's absolutely what you should do, or no, that's absolutely what you shouldn't do. Just listen to them and then direct them to sharing that and getting further input with more people. And finally, be okay if they don't want you at their dissertation defense. I know I did not have family members at my dissertation defense. I didn't even invite them. It didn't come up at all. I don't even think they asked, which was fine by me. Some places may have policies where that's not allowed, and that's one thing. But other times, not everybody feels comfortable having their family members there. And it can be particularly stressful for family members to watch another family member do a defense and then be grilled by faculty. It can be very stressful. Some people do it, right? Some people invite their family members and their family members come and participate appropriately. But don't be offended or upset if they don't want you in that process, because it can be, like I said, it's a very stressful day for them to begin with, and they may not want to have to manage expectations, teach you what to do, because there are certain rules and guidelines to how you behave and what you can and cannot do in a defense as an audience member. They just may not want that added stress on board. So just let that one ride. Don't worry about it too much. So if you like this video and you want more, click right here and I will see you over in the next one.